Hey guys, I know it's been a while, but I could not miss out on this Eclipse video, so let's jump right into it. Today I am going to tell you how I captured and edited this solar eclipse composite picture in a Fibonacci spiral composition. So let's jump right into it. First off, to capture it, you are going to need this lens because otherwise you will break your camera, and you will need these settings. However, it will change throughout the solar eclipse, so you need to be ready for that. And you're going to need a tripod because it will be slowly moving, and you don't want to have to be holding it up for the entire time because it's going to be zoomed in and you're going to lose it. And make sure to have eclipse glasses for yourself because you're going to want to watch it in person as well. You don't want to watch the entire thing through your camera because that's boring. So I'm moving on to editing. These are the settings that I used in Camera Raw from Photoshop if you wanted to screenshot them and try them out. If you notice the tiny circle slightly up to the right of it, that is a solar eclipse solar flare. So either your camera will capture it or it won't. I was very lucky to catch that because I did not know that was even an option until I started editing it and saw it. But the main thing that we're going to focus on in this video is editing it into a composite, specifically into the Fibonacci spiral. And so to begin with, because of how I captured it and zoomed in so much because I wanted as much detail as possible, I did not have a big enough canvas to do the spiral on. Luckily, Photoshop has generative expand, so I did cheat a little, if you will, just to kind of give myself more canvas. I could have just used a black area, but I kind of wanted to keep what little gradient there was, and it was kind of just guesswork to see how big I would want it because I wasn't sure how it would look until I put it on. So you just kind of guess and let it do what its thing. But one thing that you will notice is that it does leave a little bit of a line where the original photo was versus where the expanded version is. They do not do it perfectly, so you have to export it into a PNG, and I found that using the healing tool gives the best result for kind of hiding that line. And after that was all done, I just snagged a screenshot of a Fibonacci spiral from Google and just overlaid it so that I could see it, and just set this opacity low so you could see through it. There's nothing really fancy you gotta do. And then after you select the different progress shots of the eclipse that you want, you will have to kind of go through and edit them all to be the same brightness because, as I mentioned before, because the moon is going to slowly block the sun, it will be giving off less and less light. So you're going to have to, when you're taking pictures, accommodate for that, but it still won't be perfect. So in order to make them all match, you are going to have to slowly edit them to be the same. To be honest, the main way I did that was just to make the little tiny bump be over the 300 for them all, just because that was kind of an easy way to make sure that they were all the same. And then after that, when they're all matching, just export them all out into PNGs because that's going to be the easiest way to create a composite. Working on all raw files the entire time is going to be a complete headache. Alright, and now we get to actually jump into the fun part once all the prep work is done. And so the easiest thing to do is just to drag the PNG on top of the photo to tell it to put it as a new layer on top of the photo you already have. And if you've already edited it, you can just click OK and put it in. And I just bumped down the opacity so that I could put it over the solar eclipse to make sure that it was the right size, because I want them all to be relatively the same size, even though it's going to become a smaller crescent. I still wanted the shadow circle to be the same circle, if that makes any sense at all. But then the way, and I stole this from someone, I did not know how to do this, but if you click screen as your option, because the filter makes everything black and white more or less, because it's only letting light through, if you click screen, it will get rid of all the black, so you'll just have a clean picture of your progress shot of the eclipse, and then you can move on to the more fun part of editing them into that spiral, which, don't be fooled, I cut out a lot. There was a lot of editing on this because this took, just putting it into the spiral took about 2 hours to do, so don't think that you can just do it in 6 minutes like this video. Although hopefully seeing it done will help you do it way faster than I did. And even though using that layer as a screen did help a lot, it was not perfect, so I did have to export it into a PNG and go in with the heal tool to kind of get rid of those sharp edges, the same way that we did with the generative expand. And then you are done, and it's going to look all beautiful, and you're going to want to brag about it to everyone, so go ahead and do that. And this photo is available as an art print and a t-shirt online, and next week you'll get to see how I added in that gradient for that kind of 360 dusk shot, which you get to actually see in person, but you aren't able to capture because, like I said before, the lens makes everything black and white. But if you come back next week, I can show you how I created that, because I like it way better than the black and white, because the black and white, the gradient is a little too subtle for it to print well, even though it looks really good on screen. So if you're planning to actually print it out or have it in any physical form, you're going to want to edit it a little bit more to make that gradient stronger. But I hope to see you next week, and feel free to check out that shot. There's a lot of other art on there, so I hope to see you soon. Bye!